Hello, everyone. It's Ray, and today we are going to be talking about books I recommend for June. As you know, June is Pride Month, so these are all books that have queer main characters. I have one exception to this rule, though, which the character I would say is definitely queer coded, but it's not outright stated that these characters are queer in this particular book, even though, to my knowledge, it's very widely agreed on that they are. Now, this list is going to include a manga series and also a Danmei series. So, if those are not your particular cup of tea, you can go ahead and skip past that recommendation. No one is trying to force you to read these. These are just my opinions. Okay, so for the manga, I'm only recommending one series, even though I know that there are a lot that have come out that are supposed to be really good, especially recently, but I can only recommend ones that I have read personally myself. So the series I recommend is called Donuts Under the Crescent Moon. This is a really beautiful series about these two women who work in the same office. One is like very into fashion and makeup and falling in love. However, her relationships with men just never work out. The other woman in this story is her very level headed coworker. The two's relationship starts off as just like kind of respect, but it eventually develops into something more intimate. This series is just beautiful. The characters are very lovable. They are characters that you genuinely root for and care to see what actually happens to them. Now, for the Danmei, I recommend. It is actually my favorite series of all time, and that would be Heaven Official's Blessing. The emotions this series will make you feel, the yearning, just all of it. This is the story of a god and a ghost who loves him. In the first book, of the series, the god has ascended to godhood for the third time in 800 years, which angers many in the heavenly realm. To repay his debts, he is sent to the mortal realm to hunt down problematic, violent ghosts and spirits. Along the way, he meets a young man whom he has an instant connection with. However, perhaps this man is not who he appears to be. All right, now that I have recommended those two, I'll get to my other recommendations. I recommend Elegy for the Undead. This is a beautiful and very, very sad story. I was sobbing at like multiple points during this book. To me, it is one of the best zombie post apocalyptic pieces of media out there. It is the story of two newlywed husbands. Their happy life is shattered when one of them is infected. With no known cure for this zombie virus, the two begin to navigate their last months together. It is full of memories of showing like their young love and all of the challenges that they faced, spliced in with the story told from what would be considered the present in the story. If you want a great story to cry to, I definitely recommend this one. Next up would be something a bit happier, which would be Written in the Stars. If you enjoy grumpy sunshine, fake dating, and like some vibes that kind of feel like Pride and Prejudice, this book is definitely for you. It is set in Seattle, which is, a city that I adore. And it's about these two women who are set up on this blind date. It does not go well. Like, the two could not be more different. And but one of them, she kind of like lies to her brother and says, "Yeah, it went so well. Like we hit it off so perfect." And she is then tasking herself with getting the other woman to agree to a fake dating type of arrangement that would benefit both of them. And maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. You'll have to read it to find out. This next one, I know that a lot of people don't really like, but I personally enjoyed it. And that would be Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. Say what you want, but I did genuinely enjoy the story. It's gross and it's a bit eerie. I mean, what more can you ask for? I know people have mixed opinions about it, but I am definitely one of the people who enjoyed it. It's about these two women who start corresponding through an internet chat room, which seems innocent, but things get much darker. I'm not going to say much more about it because I don't want to spoil it. I would definitely recommend just go out and read it. Maybe don't eat anything while you're reading it, though. And lastly, the book I recommend would be Carmilla. I know that it is never like stated outright that these characters are queer, but there are a lot of people who agree that they are definitely coded. And so if you disagree with me including Carmilla on the list, argue with the wall. I don't care. I'm going to include it. This beautiful story predates Dracula by actually 26 years, and it is about the titular Carmilla, who is a young woman. She shows up on a moonlit night to a castle deep in the forest. Laura, the young woman living in that castle with her elderly father, is honestly just so glad to have a companion who is actually her age. Carmilla, however, is hiding a ghastly truth. This is one of my favorite books, and I consume as many retellings of it as possible. So far, the best one I have read is called Carmilla Revamped. I only included the original Carmilla on this list, however, since I would like for people to start reading the original first before they go off and like read a whole bunch of retellings. And those were all the books I recommend for Pride Month. If you have any queer books that you recommend, feel free to leave a comment. I would love to get some more book recommendations. If you disagree with my list, then you can always make your own list, but let's be respectful, please. I originally planned to make this video a lot sooner, but life does have a way of getting in the way, so I made it now. All right, as always, I have my Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, and Storygraph all linked below. Have fun reading. Have a great Pride, everyone. Bye bye.